Hey, how's everyone? During my last video, I spoke of Blaise Pascal and covered Pascal's wager, and every now and then I get asked by atheists, what if Krishna exists? Or what if Hinduism is true? Today I'd like to talk a little bit about Hinduism and do a comparison of the beliefs of the afterlife between Christianity and Hinduism. As a history major, I've studied some of the most popular religions worldwide, and did you know that the majority of ancient religions come from Asia, especially from the Far East side? Historically speaking, Hinduism is the oldest religion, and historians judge this based by its history and the texts that they've discovered. Before the Indians sailed in India, they were originally nomadic, meaning they moved around a lot, and they were known as Aryans, or the Aryan people, meaning noble. In Hinduism, there are various texts that Hindus read, and the most common are the four Vedas, even though they weren't written until much later after Hinduism began. There is the Rig Veda, which is the book of mantra. There is the Sama Veda, which is a book of songs. There is the Yajur Veda, which is the book of rituals. And there is the Atharva Veda, which is the book of spells and charms. The oldest of these four books is the Rig Veda, and that was written around 1500 BC. There are other sacred texts that Hindus read and follow, but the Vedas are the most popular. Within Hinduism, the most popular gods are Krishna, Ganesha, Hanuman, Shiva, Rama, Kali, and Vishnu. Although these are some of the most popular gods in Hinduism, it is said that there are 330 million gods in Hinduism. That's a pretty big number. Hindus acknowledge that there is one supreme being, but each god they worship represents a particular aspect of this supreme being. Hinduism is the third most popular religion today, next to Christianity and Islam. In Hinduism, an individual could worship one or several gods. They also believe in spirits, demons, and deities. Within Hinduism, there are concepts of good and evil. According to their beliefs, there is a struggle between order and chaos. The demons try to disturb the divine order, and their gods try to uphold the order. Hindus believe there is an afterlife. They have a version of heaven which they call nirvana, and they do have a hell. They also believe in reincarnation. They believe, based on how an individual lives, it will determine where he or she will end up in the afterlife after he or she has passed on. In other words, one spirit moves on based on their karma. Both Jainism and Buddhism are believed to be outgrowths from Hinduism, and all three of these religions have things in common, even though they are very different. All three of these religions agree there is a nirvana of sorts, which is a place of total bliss. In Hinduism, one of three things will happen to you after you die. You either get reincarnated right away as a human or as another animal, or you go to hell for a sum of time, or you go to nirvana for a sum of time. Regardless if a spirit ends up in nirvana or hell, the spirit eventually gets reincarnated. The spirit in Hinduism never stays somewhere forever. It eventually moves on. So an atheist asked me, what would I do if Hinduism is true? Should I have something to worry about if I die? To answer the question, my answer is not really. In Hindu, Naraka, or hell, is a temporal place, and if I went there, I wouldn't be there forever, unlike the Christian hell, which is forever. I still think it is a safer bet to believe in Jesus or in Christianity. Now I'm going to show you a little chart about the beliefs of between Christianity and Hinduism. So as you can see here, on the side are the two religions, Christianity and Hinduism, and whether or not they agree in heaven, hell, or in reincarnation. On the Christian side, they do believe in heaven, they believe in hell, but there is no reincarnation in Christianity. However, in Hinduism, There is a nirvana, there is a naraka, which is also a hell, and they believe in reincarnation. So, as I said earlier, if Hinduism by chance happens to be true, I don't think there isn't really anything for me to worry about, because I'm eventually going to move on. If I somehow do end up in hell, I have eventually move out of that place and eventually be reincarnated. The problem here is that if Christianity is true, the spirit will either end up in heaven or hell. There is no reincarnation in Christianity. So, and like I said before, in Christianity, hell's a place you stay forever. You don't get reincarnated, you just stay there forever and ever. And that's where the danger lies. And like I said before, it's a safer bet to put your faith in Christianity than in Hinduism. I mean, you have nothing to lose by placing your trust in Christianity or in Jesus. I'll post some of these links. I'll post some links up for those who have an interest in Hinduism or in this discussion. Anyway, guys, have a good one, and God bless.